It's Angela Lee, who is joining us now via the magic of Skype. There she is. Angela, how are you? Aloha.
Hi, good morning. It's good to be back on the show.
Yes, and I appreciate you saying good morning as it's 4:36 and I've been on the air for almost 4 hours now, but I know you are in Hawaii. So thank you for joining
Sorry.
us early in the morning over there. And what a great fight that was. Is it possible to compare the two, like which one you enjoyed more? They were both phenomenal and arguably the best fights of the year as far as women's MMA is concerned, at least thus far, and of course the one a couple years ago. Which one did you enjoy more, the first or the second?
Uh, that's tough. I mean, they're two completely different feelings and emotions going into them. The first one, it was very exciting because it was my shot at the world title, and that's when I first became the champion. And then going into this last match, it was, I was coming in as the champion and defending the belt, and also it was a really big night because my little brother Christian was fighting on the same card, and so a lot of different emotions. And because I actually went and I watched his fight cage side before going out for my match, so it was crazy. It was really crazy, crazy night. But if I had to pick which one I liked better, I think this one, because kind of just like, I mean, the first match was very, like, everyone was talking about it, was very close, back and forth. And this one, I kind of just wanted to seal the deal. And, I was trying to go for the finish, still went to a decision. I mean, she's a tough girl. But yeah, I mean, really happy with the way the fight went out.
The scene as you were walking out was very emotional, and you were very emotional. And that's not something that we often see. I mean, it reminded me a bit of Kat Zingano as she walked out for her UFC debut. You have been through a lot over the past few months, and of course, your brother fighting, and not able to realize his dream in that particular fight of becoming a champion. Could you tell us what was going through your mind, if anything, at that moment?
Yeah, it was a wild night. So many emotions. In November, I was supposed to have the same fight, but unfortunately, I got into a car accident here in Hawaii, and that put me out for a couple of months. Recovering from that was difficult, but I managed to you know take this journey back and take all the time I needed to get back into a healthy mindset. And so the training camp for this fight in particular was the longest I've ever had. It was like almost 2 months, and or sorry, over 2 months. And but it was nice because I got to train alongside my brother, and that was even more motivating because it was, going to be the biggest fight of both of our lives. Um, Fighting on the same card as Christian was a dream come true. It was something we always talked about. So just that alone, us being the main event and the co-main event, it was, a really big honor. And I'm so glad that happened. And even though Christian didn't come away with the belt and the victory, um, you know, I think definitely everything happens for a reason, and he's going to come back stronger from this. So, I mean, that's what adversities do to us, we overcome it and we come back stronger.
I remember seeing the photos of the car accident, and obviously, shocking to see, and very happy to see that you're okay and that you're able to resume your career. Could you tell us what injuries did you
Thank you.
suffer in the accident?
Surprisingly, it's very, very minor injuries. I mean, a bunch of bruises, I mean, minor burns, and concussion, slight concussion. I was more just really shaken up by the whole thing, like pretty unstable. Just it's kind of traumatizing.
Yeah.
So it was really good to take the time off from everything. Kind of just pause everything that I was doing regarding like fighting and training, and get back to my family, because it's been a few years since I've spent like solid time at home,
Mm.
back in Hawaii with them. So it was definitely good, kind of like a restart button.
And are you okay to drive now?
Yeah, no, I have no issues driving. It was more, I don't know. I think just a lot of things happening at one time. I was overwhelmed by a lot, and I mean, physically, I could have fought, and I could have gotten back to training if I wanted to in a couple of weeks. But um, like even when I attended the one championship event in November, and I had to go there and kind of like do like a meet and greet and say hi to some people, and it was just like way too much for me. I was trying to act like I was okay, but I was like, oh, not dealing with that well. But
Okay.
after the holidays, I think January, I was good. I was back to normal.
And it's because you fell asleep at the wheel. Is that the story?
It was like a split second, um, like dozed off, and then I tried to like I turned my wheel, and it's a really like narrow road, and I hit the guardrail, and as soon as I hit the guardrail, like my car just started rolling,
Wow.
and it was like I don't know 5 or 6 times. I can't.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still crazy to think about.
Okay. Wow. Very happy that you're okay and that no serious injuries. That's incredible. Um, and what a scene it was to see you out there as your brother was fighting. Um, in a perfect world, like I remember talking to Anthony Pettis about this and his brother fighting on the same card when he was champion and eventually lost his belt. And he wasn't happy seeing his brother get knocked out. Would you rather not do? I know it's cool to fight on the same card as your brother, especially you're both fighting for belts, but there's a lot of emotion involved as well, and especially when it doesn't go his way. Did that kind of mess you up as well before your fight?
It was really hard to stay focused and you know kind of just remember like that I had a job to do too. I think it was really hard for me to deal with, but also my dad, who's both of our head coaches, to you know deal with that and what happened, and then try to get me focused, ready for my fight. That was pretty much right after that. Um, we haven't talked about it if that's something that we're gonna do again or not. I think it has its pros and cons. When it's good, everything is great, like 100 times better. But when things don't go according to plan, I have to just really stay focused. And that's what I kept telling myself. And I really tried to do that. And I was all the way up to the point where Christian said bye to me, like right about at the pat down area. And I was just like, oh, broke down.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it was tough. It was tough. And then stepping into the cage, I was like, okay, pull it together. Like this is the biggest fight of your life right now.
Yeah, and then what I thought was interesting was after the fight, as you were kind of addressing your family, you talked a lot about your brother as well. And I'm wondering, you shouldn't feel this way, but I'm just wondering because you are so close to your brother, are there feelings of guilt like I won, he didn't? I don't want to be too happy here because I know he's hurting inside, but he's also happy for me. What is that feeling like?
Definitely mixed emotions. I was happy, about my win, but then also, you know, we're so close that I know my brother was, definitely not happy with how his fight went, and I felt that too, and I just felt like I had to speak about it, and I'm always completely honest with everyone, and I just had to say what was on my mind. So
What's it like fighting someone like May, veteran of the sport for a second time? Like, do you get, is there deja vu involved? Like, oh, I remember she does this. I remember she does that. Or did you feel like she was a completely different opponent this time around?
I know I felt that she still had that same grit and toughness because that's kind of just embedded when you're fighting for as long as she has. But I know that she's made improvements in her game since the last time that we fought. She, I knew she really, really wanted this, and she trained her butt off for it, and I expected that. Um, I really wanted to go out there and finish her, because of course, like that's always the goal. So a couple times I got close to doing that, but in the end, um, came out to 5-round war again. And hey, I'm not complaining. It's just that much more experience.
And what about the fact that it had been a year in between fights? Did you feel like you needed some time to get going?
Um, I came out and I wasn't so as hesitant as I thought I would be. Um, I think it's due to the fact that I had a really good training camp and we got a lot of like live sparring in, and we kind of went over the game plan a lot, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. It was more towards the later rounds that I kind of got burned out a little bit. So it was kind of like opposite of the first fight. But yeah, I stuck to the game plan, and everything worked out.
At the beginning of this interview, I said that I believe that you are the face of one championship. Do you feel the same way? I know you're very humble, so maybe that's a difficult thing for you to concede. But it seems to me like you are the face of the promotion. Would you agree?
I think that we've definitely, it's been like a partnership, throughout. When I first joined One Championship, they didn't really have a female division and they didn't have any female champions. So I feel like I've definitely helped to pioneer um, and add to that aspect of their whole missing a whole different side of it, a whole women's division. And I think I helped to fill that gap. It's been 3 years, and the amount of things that I've done with One Championship is mind blowing. I'm just really grateful because I wouldn't be here without them. So
Yeah. And I know you get a lot of press and attention back in Hawaii, and what a time it is for Hawaiian MMA with the likes of Max Holloway doing what he's doing, and of course Brad Tavares. I mean, there's a real long list of great Hawaiian fighters right now. Are there any talks? We talked about this a little bit last time you were on about doing an event in Hawaii. Could one beat the UFC in terms of getting there first? Are there any talks of that with you headlining?
oh, I really hope so. It's something that we have talked about, and yeah, I know UFC Hawaii. They were trying to do a really big push for that. I think just any sort of organization coming to Hawaii would be really great for everyone here. There's so much talent, and I know the local people would love to come out for that. So, hopefully in the very near future, we'll see about that.
Okay. Have they talked to you about anything? Do you know of any plans?
No, not as of right now. I can't say
Or maybe
anything,
not
but
that you can share?
that not that I can share, but they are looking to expand into more countries, and hopefully soon.
And this is a very exciting time for you. You also got engaged since we last spoke, right? Congratulations. Mazel tov.
I did. Thank
Wow.
you.
Look at
Thank
you.
you.
That's amazing. When are you getting married?
July 18th.
Okay. Wow. So that's coming up. How are the preparations? Is it going to be a big wedding?
Uh, no, actually, it's gonna be more private and just with close family and some friends. But yeah, it's a 50-day countdown right now, and everything's
Wow.
going amazing. I'm just so happy.
Are you a bridezilla?
No, I think I'm the complete opposite. Actually, I think I'm very carefree and just all about me, like enjoying each step of the way, enjoying the process of it.
Well, enjoy that. Enjoy the process. Congratulations to both you and your fiance, your family, and congrats on the big win a couple of weeks ago. Great to see you back. And like I said, very happy that everything was okay as far as the accident was concerned, and that you're able to resume your very impressive and young career. So I wish you nothing but the best. Great to catch up with you again, Angela. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
All right. We will talk to you soon. There she is, Angela Lee, in my opinion, the face of One Championship, their atomweight champion.